So we are joined today by Jessica Hammer. I get a new team member for Discover Wisconsin, particularly on like the social media side, which is like your forte is social. That is your thing. I met you many, many years ago through the Miss Wisconsin organization, and I was excited about this because you are like a Portage native. Mm-hmm. So I figured that you could give us a lot of hidden gems. What is your favorite hidden gem in Portage?
One of my favorite first hidden gems is just Fort Winnebago in general. Just so much interesting history. And I remember as a kid in like 3rd or 4th grade, we would always take a field trip to Fort Winnebago Surgeon's Quarters, Indian Agency House. And I thought it was so cool. But the most interesting part, as a former Girl Scout, was that the Indian Agency House originally was built by the federal government to be a residence for John H. Kinsey, who was serving as an Indian sub-agent to the Ho-Chunk. And his wife, Juliet, they had a bunch of children. And then the next generation, Juliet Gordon Lowe, which would be their granddaughter, was the founder of Girl Scouts.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a nugget I didn't know.
Isn't that a fun nugget? So I always thought that was really cool as a former Girl Scout, but also going, on field trips and learning those nuggets was really interesting. So I think Fort Winnebago as a whole was really is really a hidden gem that I don't think many Wisconsinites initially think of when they think of Portage Baraboo area.
There was another place that I'd noticed. I'm like, is that an ice cream shop? What is that? Because there's lines out the door in the summertime, particularly. And that would be Popcorn Corner.
The Popcorn Corner. That's a staple. That is a community staple. I had friends in high school who, you'd fight for a summer job at the Popcorn Corner.
Really?
It was the best. I mean, they have so many varieties of ice cream, different flavors of popcorn in like these enormous bags. Really was a treat.
And then Paquette Park seemed like a really nice place, too.
Yep.
There was a cool fountain there as I drove by one time.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think that's one of the highlights. One of my favorite parks in Portage is Paquette Park.
Now, when you head out of Portage towards Cascade, you can go on Highway 33. Mm-hmm. You keep going. It gets hillier.
Yep.
It gets ridgier. You go around the North Baraboo Hill. What is that one big hill?
Oh, gosh.
I forgot the name of it, but it's unmistakable as you drive around it. So about 15 minutes west, I'd say, of Portage, right?
Yep.
Down Highway 33.
Correct.
You reach another great town where we're going to talk about hidden gems. This one's in Sauk County, and it is Baraboo.
We've sang a lot of praise for Baraboo on here, so I'm glad we can
more
finally dig into it.
Famously the home of the Circus. The Circus World Museum is not a hidden gem, but it's certainly worth a mention because circuses don't like to hide; they like to be out there.
Exactly.
But pursuant to animals, I would say a fairly hidden gem not a lot of people know about is the Exner Park and Zoo, which is a free zoo in Baraboo.
It is.
And it has a really nice variety of animals in large enclosures.
Yeah, it's really neat. Exner Park has a lot of community support, too. So it's really nice to see the community rallying around, an area like this where families can enjoy. So
now, Baraboo has a lovely town square, and there's homage to the circus.
Right.
And that even just around the county courthouse, stamped into the concrete, all these circus characters and stuff like that. And you know the town square pretty well, Dave.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the Downtowner Bar and Grill. They don't advertise a whole lot from the street. Like, you kind of have to know it's there. And when you walk in, it just feels so familiar of like every like towny bar that you've been in, that they have amazing burgers. If you're looking for a good bar burger that's grilled right behind the bar, go to Downtowner. You will not be disappointed. They perfectly cooked fries. There's like the wood paneling on the walls, and it's real dark in there. It feels instantly familiar.
And Audio Dave, what is your connection to Baraboo that puts you there on a fairly regular basis?
Well, as I've mentioned before, that is where I go to get my haircut. That is
that's a commitment.
It's a long haul for a haircut.
When you find the right place, a destination haircut is absolutely worth the drive, and that is what you get. It's not one of those barbershops that you go in and you're just talking to the person cutting your hair. You walk in, you sit on the side, and you are instantly a part of everyone's conversation. So it's just kind of a meeting ground, and also really great haircuts.
Some introverts just cringed.
Now, if you want diner food, the Broadway Diner is pretty cool. That's on, I think, might still be 113. It's Business 12, just on the south edge of downtown. The building is very eye-catching. It's got the chrome out front. It looks like the classic American diner.
Hopping back over to Portage, that reminds me of Tamarack Pizza. It's one of those places where you walk in and you're like, I'm gonna eat good here.
Yeah.
They specialize in pizzas, but they also do these enormous, they call them jumbo burgers, and they're jumbo for a reason.
I'm going to stick to the outside areas now, and kind of outside, in fact, between Portage and Baraboo, there's one place, and I believe it just became a National Historic Site. It's a county park, yet it's tucked out of the way just enough where I would count it as a hidden gem. And it's right off 33. At first, I saw a sign that said Man Mound Road. I'm like, what the?
What?
Do I want to know what's down that road? But so I went down that road, and there is a man mound there. That is, of course, with the Native Americans, they were mound builders in many areas across the state. So I think it was about 1,100 years ago, they were saying, something along those lines. They had built this mound that was in the shape of, if you see from above, a man. And that is now Man Mound County Park, which was added to a national roster, I think just in the last year or two.
Interesting.
Now, you and I also when we were each doing our own thoughts on this research, we each had a lavender farm we put down.
Sure did.
There's a lot of lavender around Baraboo. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, New Life Lavender Farm in Baraboo. Beautiful. I mean, they have one, you can go and pick lavender if you'd like, but they also have all of these really cool classes where you can make lavender wreaths, you can make like arrangements, you can also, they have like body care, bath care, essential oils. It's just like if you're looking for a spa treatment, that's the place to go.
Yeah, well, and there's another lavender farm on the east side of Baraboo.
Yeah.
So New Life is out west. Rowley Creek Lavender Farm is on the east side, just off 33. There's a sign for it. And what's remarkable about Baraboo is the natural beauty around there is pretty incredible. I mean, you've got Devil's Lake State Park and the river and the Baraboo Range right there. So you have these, massive hills and these beautiful vistas. And so when farm fields, which are beautiful anyway with the green and the yellow and all, when you add purple and lavender,
It's so pretty.
it's pretty stunning. So that's such a gorgeous area. Now, it was also home just to the south of Baraboo to the Badger Army Ammunition Plant for... Gosh, I think it started in 1942. It was a major supplier of ammunition to the Army and all of our military in World War II, which, pretty major thing. And that lasted for quite a while, and then it shut down, and then it was just kind of deteriorating for a long time. Now, they're in the process of redeveloping that, but a museum now exists of the Badger Army Ammunition Plant. And right across the street is a very unique, quirky, kitschy place called Dr. Evermore's Sculpture Park. Have you been there?
Fun.
I have not been there.
Oh, you're missing out.
I've heard stories about this place, though.
Dave, share some stories.
Keep an open mind and just go see it. I can't describe it in a way that is adequate.
These are stories of, there's Victorian stuff involved in the stories. There's space, ascension to an otherworldly place.
Yeah.
With this massive thing called Forevertron, which is the centerpiece. Yeah. Tom Every was the guy who developed it and created it, and he just passed away actually in 2020.
Wow.
So, but yeah, his work is just, and he constructed Installation Art at House on the Rock, including the world's largest carousel and everything that's down there. So he commissioned a lot of art pieces. Yeah. But this was kind of his baby, if you will.
My last hidden gem, I think, is just outside of Baraboo, is Sky High Fruit Farm.
Oh, yeah.
You can pick apples there. But they also have a little petting zoo area for the kids. They have fresh apple cider. They have hot, warm pie. And you can see it. You can see it being baked, which is just, it makes it that much more delicious as you get it. But anything and everything that you're looking for in terms of fall goodies are there. So I would say it's a must visit.
Well, Jessica, thank you so much for joining us in the cabin today.
Thanks so much for having me.
We love talking Portage and Baraboo, so thank you so much.
Thank you.